Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This one I'm going to be doing my Prizewall breakdown. I thought I would do this one slightly differently since it was week long and show you guys how I did on both accounts and kind of do my breakdown with some of those numbers in mind. So you can see my main rank 710. I didn't buy any loot coins. I didn't spend on anything. I did buy a little bit of showdown energy, and I finished second. And by a little bit, I mean a little bit, as there was no reason to try and win because I was way too far from another milestone. But I didn't buy any pulls. Rank 710. I did do really well in Stip Tour, and my faction maxed the event, as you can see. So there's a ton of bonus backpacks, right, in maxing it. So the bulk of those came from that, and then rebuying the Stip Tour was 750 every day. 4 days, that's 6,000 just from the Stip Tour, right? 6,000 just from the Stip Tour. I don't remember. I might have said 4,000, but 6,000 just from the Stip Tour. And you can see I'm at 35,285. Faction gives 2,100. That puts me at 37,185. And I'll probably get about 800 from the Stip rewards that come in today, which will put me basically right at 38k backpacks. Now, let's switch over to the free-to-play. Right here. And free-to-play got into the bonus. It just missed. I need like, what, 130,000 more to get one more milestone, 6 more bags, which would have been 1,200 currency. Not the end of the world, right? At all. But I got milestone 53 of 60, and that's not bad. 5 less milestones than the main account got. I finished first in Showdown, obviously spent nothing in my bracket, right? And we did get into some of the bonus milestones. So I think for the free to play did pretty well. You can see rank 6,842. So there's like, 6,000 players that, probably hit another milestone or two. And then some that hit a bunch more. But considering where Mherex is at, 58 of 60 and at 710, probably like, the bulk of people are going to be right between 30k depending on their faction, and then like I think I'm at like 11k-ish on this account. So let's go back to here. We'll look at the Prizewall. Yeah, 10,460, and I'm going to get 900 from the faction event. So I'll be just over 11k. And I think most people are between 30k and like probably 10k, right, on the Prizewall. So with a few people being a bit more if you had really good bag luck or something like that. So the care gear is out of reach, I would assume, for most people, considering I'm ranked 710 and I'm still 15,000 away. So yeah, I think that's pretty much out of discussion for anyone watching this for the most part. I mean, if you get enough to get Vicaire gear, is so good. 350% more blue gem damage for her with the 2-click moveset. That's a crazy amount. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do with this gear, if it'll just stay vaulted until like zombies. I kind of think no, so I don't know where it'll end up. But if I had most of the other stuff, I would probably still get it, right? If I had most of the other stuff. It would be, if I didn't have a crossfire plate, it would be a really tough choice, because this is probably my favorite plate in the game right now. The crossfire, right? There's so many people I like that it's good on. And a ton of places well, there's actually a ton it's amazing on, and a bunch it's good on. Yeah. You know, so this is my favorite plate on the wall, like straight up, personally. Now, it also depends on your needs. The Rainbow Explosion is really good on the punks, both punks, acro and zombie punk. Really, really good there. like really good, and also amazing on Judgment Day Dom. Those are my S tier guys. You can see the list ranking on that. Rainbow Flurry's plate has a lot of places it's pretty good on, like a lot of places. I feel like it's not as strong as the Crossfire. I do feel like it's better than the Explosion plate though, because there's more landing spots, so you're likely to hit something on your roster. Frankie the Player plate is kind of redonkulous. If you have all the stuff for Powerhouse Austin, it really makes him 2-click, almost no reversal worry, other than like Tech Brock, which you wouldn't go against a Tech anyway if you're evenly matched type. So basically, no reversal worry. You know, so there's that. And the Ring of Royalty, I really basically see this as a stip plate and like Titan to recycle. So I would put it down like a few more notches probably from those. The new trap plate, obviously it's good on Bliss if you want to run the multiply set, and it's actually incredibly good on Trickster Austin, WCW Austin Alliance. Obviously you can use it like on the Aussies, the Brutuses, that kind of stuff, but I don't find it impressive there, right? I think this plate is certainly at 300%, it feels kind of worse than all of the 500% ones. And it's a specific color, right? So it is going to always have way more limited uses. Um, the Ministry Business Plate is not a game changer, to be honest, for most cards. It adds 100% only, but it is 100% on multiply gems, and it does work on anyone making multiply gems. So I do love its versatility, ton of great spots for it. We don't have a lot of plates that really help some of the multiply people. So this one definitely does. So it's a really strong plate. Visceral Visage is very, very limited because it requires heal gems to be made, right? And I'm just kind of going through the 30k ones right here first. So, I mean, it's great on like 2 people, Viscera, and then if you like running the potential to miss with the special edition Cena, those are kind of the 2 spots there. Um, in my opinion, right? You can put them more places. But I would say this is the worst plate of the 30k to me. That's just my opinion. This one is useful so many places, but the damage it adds isn't a ton. This is useful some places, right? Like for sure, but it doesn't add the same kind of damage these do. Like I said, it's more of like a stip and Titan kind of plate. So keep that in mind. I feel like it's way more niche, and then I also feel like this one is pretty niche. If you have a spot where you love it, then go for it. But otherwise, I think if you don't have any of these, that needs to be the route, in my opinion, if you want like common sense, right? Like, if you're asking me without knowing your roster, your needs to break it down, I think these 4 are the clear choices if you don't have any of them. Now, if you don't have any of them, I personally would rank Crossfire 1 and these 2 second, like 2A, 2B, and then this one 4th, right? Of the 4 plates. But if you have 3 of them and you're missing one, then I think absolutely take the one you're missing of those. That's just my personal philosophy on those plates, right? So that's how I would kind of group those. Um, then we move to the 15k plates. And there are a bunch of choices in here as well. I really wish I had gotten to 15k on the free to play. So this is amazing on Acropunk, and that's it. And this is amazing on Judgment Day Dom, and that's about it. I think JBL you could also make it work. I have to look at my chart, which I'm not looking at. Feel free to watch the breakdown on that. The other ones, they kind of suck, mostly. Right? They just kind of suck. So these 2 are okay. Now, Haku plate is amazing on Haku and Kofi, and that's all that really comes to mind at the moment, but it is 200% on a primary plate which is a lot on a primary plate, but it's a specific gem and a specific gem type, so you may struggle to use it. This is really great for Kamala move damage set, like really, really good. Kofi's World Plate could potentially be interesting on Tiffy time. You know, I'm not completely sold on it, but I do want one on Mherex. I don't have one. It's one of the plates I'm missing. We'll talk about what I'm going to do on both accounts in a little bit. So kind of the 15K plates, these two are pretty strong because they actually have spots where you can use them, but they're specific spots. And then these two are pretty strong. Again, specific spots, but you can actually use them, right? Um, the question though really becomes, are they better than if you don't have like the anniversary plates? Botch Slap has some people it's really good on. Hall of Fame Lex it can be good on. Obviously, it can be really good on Naomi, right? And then Total Silence has some spots too. It's getting more places. New Bliss, it's really good on Zombie Bliss. Um, Jacqueline, it's very good on Jacqueline. And like they're clearly making cards now with these plates in mind, where you see them making like 41 gems and they're leaving 8 slots open for the anniversary ones. So actually, at the value, I find these two great value. If you don't have one, I would pick them up. I need to decide which one I want on the free to play. This is definitely, I think, one of the routes I'm going, so I have them. You also have Rainbow Transfusion, Rainbow Botch. Rainbow Transfusion is okay on some people. Um, you could use it on like any of the leech people if you don't have the specific color, but it is only 200% the same as the specific color. So it's maybe not as needed, but you can move it around more. So like Striker Austin 316 is probably the best spot for it. Rhea Ripley, if you have all of her stuff, Trickster Rhea, it potentially could be pretty strong on her. Rainbow Botchman plate, again, people like Lex, Boss Man, stuff like that, right? Again, pretty solid, 300%. A lot of botch people don't destroy the board though, so keep in mind, although new ones are doing it more. This combined with the botch slap is pretty potentially powerful with how Scopely's been designing cards. So it would be nice to have one of these. In my opinion, the Rainbow Botchman or the Transfusion, just to kind of have in your back pocket. I hate the pricing on the LA Bite. You can get in the Showdown wall. Don't take it. Down the hole, Rabbit Plate's okay. It's been on a ton of Prizewalls. My free to play has it. I don't think it compares well to this 8K range, right? And Out of Control is the Silence Gems do 100%. Again, I feel like that's much weaker than 8 Multiply Gems. You can agree or disagree. It's up to you. I don't personally like sub plates, although free to play does have to use some subs. Anyone with red gems off of a sub, Hitman Jacket's solid, but it's not in like these are the potentially most game changers potentially. Doesn't mean you have someone that can use them now. Um, and Rainbow Boss Man, I would probably rank those three as the best because it's 300%, right? This is only 100. This one's kind of crappy, but it's in a different bracket. So of the lesser ones, they're all not super great, but Devon Specs is by far the most useful. That's not to say it's amazing. It's only 50%. You can use it on like people like Nia Jax, Striker, Trickster Liv, CM Punk Acro, right? There's definitely some places you can use it. Devon, for sure. So of the 4,999, I think this is the best one. Although it's really easy to get in few bags. I think my free to play has multiple. Mherex, I don't know, has way too many. I get annoyed every time I pull it from a feud bag now. Um, I don't like really any of the moment tokens compared to a plate unless you have all of the plates. And then if you have all the plates, like if you don't have Hell in the Cell and you got the people, that's a pretty good one, I suppose. Price wise, I do like the 15K though on this one if you have some of the people, in particular like Haku and Kamala. And it doesn't hurt Hogan for sure, not that he needs it. So that's okay. Stone Cold Austin versus The Rock. Is this one you need? I need to look to see if this is one you need multiples of. We'll actually look in a second. The suplex one is actually pretty interesting as you can get the whole moment for 6,000 currency. the double German suplex, right? So I think this is pretty good value, being able to get the whole moment. And let's check on the Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock moment. Let's do that right now, before I forget, because I'll probably forget. So let's go here, roster moments. Okay. Is it this one? No, that's the Immortal moments. It does take 4 tokens for the Clash of Champ, this one. So I take that back. I forgot this was a 4 moment. At the price, I actually hate this one. Right. This is a 1 token moment, so I do love this for Yeet J and then Woods. It is not bad for Kofi either. Plus you get 50% more health, right? So Hell in the Cell one isn't terrible. This is the one. Stone Cold Austin versus The Rock. So 100% more yellow gem damage, right? That's going to be the Striker Austin Leech build set. Also Mherex with a ton of stuff. He can miss, but he can also be kind of annoying. So there's that. Botch gems we don't really care about here. Moves that generate all color gems do 10 more. That's pretty nice, again, for this Austin. And then multiplies gems generated from moves will increase their strength by 4. That one's not super interesting. Like, NOD Rock just isn't good. He's got bad gameplay loops. Again, I mean, like, you can hit hard with him potentially, but by bad gameplay loop, I mean, like, it's everything's based off the sub. You don't really like that. So this is mostly to fill out your striker Austin, right? To continue getting all of his moments, all of the pieces, and then potentially Mherex. If you want to go that route with all of his Voltroning, right? And it is a single token. No, it's 3 tokens. So that's good to be aware of as well. The fact that it's 3 tokens. So yeah, I kind of hate the price on that. So really, it comes down to, let's look at the double German suplex one. Did I go buy that one? And we'll look at this one. This is 30,000. Just, I mean, like, yeah. I mean, come on. It's not worth 30,000 to me, in my opinion. I think some people love moments. I'm way less big on them than most people. And I just think they're super overvalued because often they're limited on how many people you can use it on compared to plates. But I do probably overvalue plates more than just about anyone in the game. I'll take them over cards most of the time. Because yeah. So this one is kind of interesting. Really, the 50% more health is the big thing to me. In particular, when you see a showbout like Gunther. And also techs have, like, I believe the second highest health, if I'm not mistaken. And then El Grande, right? So those are the big two. Multiply gems do 75% more damage, will help on Gunther quite a bit. And then you get the red and green gem boost. Red mostly for him and then Brock, but I can't see, I'm not a big fan of Brock, to be honest. I think he's ridiculously overhyped for the buff he got. I wasn't a fan right after, I'm not now. So I think this one you're mostly going for El Grande and Gunther, to be fair, right? I think those are the big ones. So that's kind of how I look at it. No defense baked in, but the health is big. And it's relatively inexpensive on the wall for 6,000. I wouldn't target this specifically, but maybe with leftover, if that makes sense. So I think that's most of the moments. Let's go back into the Prizewall and we'll kind of talk about them again. And I know moments is probably one of the things I talk about probably the least in this, but they're just compared to one of those rainbow plates, and the damage, a rainbow plate can add 500% extra gem damage to multiple people. These moment tokens can't do that, right? The SummerSlam one is actually really not that good, so I hate the price there. You need 4 tokens here, so absolutely hate the price here. This was 3 tokens, so if it's the last token you need, then yeah, I get it. The Cena one's pretty decent if you have all the Cenas and like using them. It's decent, and it's not horribly priced. But again, if you have to give up the plate to get it, I don't really think any of these moments are worth giving up a plate to get that you're going to use. So now shards, people are going to disagree with me huge, but for the most part, I think the pricing's horrible compared to what you can get. So I think this is something you use your leftover for. I mean, there's maybe a few exceptions, right? Honestly, I mean, these two are outstanding. If you have the stuff, Axe in particular, Showdown Link, all the stuff you can do. This one would give me pause, especially if I had hype for him, right? And if I had a Crossfire Rainbow. He's a 2-click, no reversal at the moment worry. If you have all the stuff to run him that way. And he's a monster, right? Plus he's got the Showdown links with Smash and all that stuff. So this one would give me pause if it recruited him. But if you're somebody that typically spends and you'll know you'll spend, you're probably going to come away with Axe sooner rather than later if this recruits him, right? So there is that. Vicaire is just nasty, but unfortunately, ladies are not used very much, as we see most of the time. Showdown, usually they go second, so they're completely irrelevant most of the time. Very rarely is there a lady first showdown, and then feuds. This flash feud, we get 2 ladies, but a lot of the other feuds you won't even see a ladies feud, so they don't get used that much. Titan, they're not used at all currently. Stip, they're not used that often. Um, and Boss Battle, they're not used that often. So that's kind of the downer there. As far as like clutch coaching goes, I mean, it's is these two and Bailey, right? Brett, yeah. So again, I think all of the shards to me, with maybe the rare caveat of Axe and maybe Vicaire because she's so nasty. But you also really want, again, Rainbow Crossfire or Blue for Vicaire. Bex is awesome, but she's free, or free-ish. She was the A tier. Most people, if you wanted her and were playing much, you should be close or have her now. So these are kind of, to me, again, what you take if you can't get a plate that's useful on your roster, right? So it's hard to pass up a 500% plate for some shards, in my opinion. I don't think that's usually the right choice. But again, that's just me. Straps, I hate all the pricing on them. Don't touch them. Econ is whatever. It's horrible as well. Use with leftover if you need it, right? So that's really how I look at the Prizewall. As far as the free to play goes, I kind of want to take. I'm gonna take one of these two. I kind of want to take this because I actually have Bailey and it'll add a little bit, Zombie Bailey, right? But it doesn't add a ton, and I know I'm setting her up move damage. Move damage is still better, even with all the stuff for gear and all of that. So there's really no reason for me to get this plate for. It's going to add a minimal amount, and these two long term will just be better if I ever need it. So I have to decide which one. I don't know yet which I will, right? And that leaves basically what, like 2,400 ish, give or take. And with the 2,400 ish, I can't really get a lot. I'll probably take Twisted Bliss shards or Dom shards, right? I wish I could get 2 sets of one of them. I'll look at my shards and see who I'm closer to. And also look at my roster to decide which one is more important, male trickster or lady trickster, right? So that's kind of how the free to play is going to go. Yeah. And as far as Bliss or Dom, let's just go to class. That's kind of how I try to decide stuff. So, like male trickster. Oh yeah, Alistair Black all the way, right? Um, and I don't have the stuff to run Dom the way I really, really like him. So yeah, it's Alistair Black, Zombie Black all the way for male trickster. And lady trickster, I don't love any of mine, to be honest. So yeah, I'll go with Bliss Shards. Pretty much no brainer for me, as I don't love any of these. So yeah, definitely Bliss Shards for me. And then, I don't know how, I think I'm still a long way away because I wasn't playing when she came out. Yeah. But you got to start somewhere, right? And Dom, I think I'm even farther. About the same. I try and grab them when I can. So that's where I'm going to go on the free to play. So yeah, now let's take a look at Mherex account. Mherex. Boom. I have 2 rainbow explosions. I have 3 rainbow crossfires. I actually want more. I have 2 or 3 rainbow flurries. I think 2. 2 Frankie the Parrots, 2 Ring of Royalties, 2 Ministry Business, 1 Visceral Visage. So to me, it's no brainer. I'm going to take the one I have, the 30,000 for the Eternal Bliss, just to have it on hand. I would love the care gear, but I won't get there. So there's that. And then with the leftover, I will take the moment tokens that I don't have. Because I do like El Grande, I like the 50% extra health, and I mean, like, what else am I going to do with 6,000-ish currency on this wall? Not a lot else. I won't get enough to get one of these, and I have a bunch of them, like 2, I think, or 3 each. And I won't have enough left over to get that, so it's pretty much no-brainer, easy wall for me. Take the 1 plate I'm missing from the big ones. I don't have the Kofi plate yet, so I wish I had enough to get that one. And I have 1 Haku, and I would like a second. So I would like to have went there. Also, I wouldn't have minded taking a green or black for Acropunk and a black for Dom. But I do have 2 rainbow explosions, so I can just put one either place I feel like it. So it's really not a big deal. Because 1 lives on Zombie Punk, right? So of the moments, I'm missing none of them, actually, besides this one. No, that's not true. I'm missing the Ministry of Darkness moment, and I wouldn't even remotely take that over a plate. That was no thought. I do have all the shards. I have all the people in the shards on Mherex, but again, I wouldn't take any of them over a plate that I don't have, because that's just generally how I roll. I'm a plate first person. So that's what Mherex is going to do on the main account and the free to play. And that's kind of the decision making for that. And that's kind of how I rank the Prizewall. So just kind of to recap, I think this is really good, but it could end up in the gear loot or other Prizewalls. But I feel like this one's going to be pretty expensive, you know? Yeah. So I think these are the big prizes, especially if you don't have one. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hope it helps. And remember to like, subscribe, and share, because that really helps me out. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Good luck out there. Yeah, not too bad. It's not a bad prize wall. I wish I had more currency on both accounts, though, because there's so much stuff I'd like to get, and you just can't get most of it.